Now, what I was saying about talking about what this country needed was a real punch in the gut to let people know that this shit does still exist. You know, fascism was not defeated at the end of World War II. It wasn't. It was given a serious body blows, but it wasn't knocked out completely. It's still around, and it's so deeply embedded in this country now. This is where the fascists came. You have to understand, I think you already do, the fascists hate a democratic system. They goddamn hate it. And U.S. foreign policy has encouraged fascism in other countries because, you know, to deal with a dictatorship for capitalist America is much easier than dealing with a freely elected government who might decide, you know, we're tired of the United States bullying, get out of our country. So we have encouraged fascism all over the planet. And the fascists that live in this country have taken note. And they realized that it was possible to get control of the country. All they had to do was to mount a campaign that would destroy America's faith in our system, that nothing would work. Now, the Republicans and the Democrats are equally guilty of this, equally guilty. But the Republicans, being more devious, more venal, more psychopathological than Democrats, they came up with something called the Tea Party. And they used the Tea Party as a club to knock the shit out of any moderate Republican, and there were such a thing, any Republican who did not absolutely march in goose step, lockstep with the teabaggers. Well, they won this round. The teabaggers organized. They put right-wing devils up against normal, if that's the word, Republicans to run to take their seats away from them, and they were wildly successful because the teabaggers and the Republicans understood something that the Democrats and liberals just never wanted to face, and that is that this country at any point could have gone fascist several times in our history. Could have become an authoritarian state run by an authoritarian government. I use the word fascist. You can use whatever word you want, I guess. But the teabaggers and the Republicans, these religious nut assholes, they understood this a lot better than we did. And they knew it was just a matter of time if the what's the, I don't want to say plan. Well, maybe there was a plan. If the plan was worked the way the teabaggers laid it out, which was very simply, if you're not far right enough and you're a Republican office holder, we're going to run somebody against you who is far right, and we're going to convince the people who voted for the normal Republican that the normal Republican was useless as tits on a bull. So we're going to get rid of you, pal, and put this person in. And it worked. So the thing that I talked about all those years ago about what this country needs is a body punch, just something that will knock the goddamn wind out of us. A regime that came in, Cheney, Bush, that committed war crimes, that wasn't good enough because all that evil shit was done over there, or out of here, or back there, never right here in this country, not where it was so obvious. Oh, it was incrementalism, creeping fascism. A lot of us have been talking about it for 25 years, but it was creepy, just creeping. And it was like a bug, a cockroach. You know, we saw it on the ground. We just thought, well, you know, I'll stomp the son of a bitch when I'm ready. But we didn't. If you have read any fiction or nonfiction about how close this country is anyway to a totalitarian state, when you look at the way we started out, I mean, Jesus Christ, if that wasn't, okay, the the idea of representative government was there, but who got to be the representative government? Right. White, male landowners. And don't forget, at the very beginning, there was an awful lot of talk. They wanted George Washington to be king. Some of the revolutionaries. But I digress. What we have now, and as every day goes by, it just becomes more and more apparent and more gruesome. And more, I want to say frightening, because it is frightening, but screw that. We're not going to live in fear. What we're going to do is take these sons of bitches down. We are. This will not have a long shelf life. It just will not. Because I think 3 or 4 million people who marched in a women's protest last Saturday made the point that we're not going to live under this kind of government. We're simply not. And that women's march now is the point of the spear, and it's up to the rest of us, women and men, to push that goddamn spear right into the gut of this fascist regime. All the way through, coming out its goddamn back, just right in. This has got to be stopped. It's got to be stopped. I think the Women's March proved one thing. We can use social media too. It's my understanding that 4 women decided, hey, you know, let's go to D.C. and protest. Let's get some of our girlfriends and go to Washington and protest this. It's my understanding that's how it started out. 4, 5, 6, 10 people, 20 people maybe. And it wound up with 3.5 million just in this country. So it can be done. We've made it clear. We can put the people out there. Now, if we can do that, we can organize, all of us can organize ourselves into a force that will defeat these sons of bitches and send them to the dust heap of history where they belong. That's where they live. This goddamn Steve Bannon is just about ready to drive me nuts. Trump is ready to drive me crazy. If I see Kellyanne Conway and her goddamn alternative reality shit one more time, I don't know, I'm just going to go berserk. And Sean Sphincter, that little turd who stands in the press room and talks his shit. Bring back Ari Fleischer. Hell, I'll take Shane. Well, no, I won't go that far.